You're at a dinner with friends. Someone tells a joke. The table erupts in laughter and you freeze. You missed it. Your stomach drops. Your chest tightens. It almost feels like getting punched, even though nobody touched you. You've felt this your whole life and had no idea it's older than fire. Most people assume it's simple embarrassment. It isn't. Your brain reacts as if something far more dangerous just happened. Honestly, that's unsettling because the feeling is real, measurable, and ancient. By the time you finish this, you'll never look at rejection the same way again. What if that sting isn't about embarrassment at all, but about something your ancestors simply couldn't survive without? The answer begins long before history ever learned to write, and that's where everything changes. This isn't social awkwardness. It's older than language, older than fire, and it might be the reason you check your phone the moment it buzzes. Ancient humans feared exile more than death itself because exile was death just slower. Scientists only discovered how deep this goes recently, and it changes how you'll see every group chat, party, and awkward silence for the rest of your life. That ancient alarm never disappeared. It simply followed humanity into modern life. So how do we know this fear is literally hardwired inside your brain today? That's where the evidence becomes impossible to ignore. Most people don't realize this, but your brain treats "you don't belong here" like actual injury. In 2003, Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA ran the cyberball experiment. People lay in brain scanners while they played a simple ball toss game, until the other players stopped including them. The finding was almost cruel in its logic. The social rejection lit up the same region tied to physical pain, the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex. So when your group laughs and you weren't in on the joke, that stomach drop isn't just embarrassment doing theater. It's your nervous system sounding an alarm. You might not see blood, but your body is bracing anyway, preparing for a world where being cut off is catastrophic right now. Today, the alarm comes from a red receipt. Back then, it came from knowing you were about to be alone in a place where alone meant dying. But this question is bigger than feelings. What actually happened to people who got excluded? Richard Lee spent years studying the Kalahari San, one of the last hunter-gatherer societies living in southern Africa. His observations revealed something modern life makes easy to forget. No one truly survived alone. Hunting required cooperation. Finding water demanded shared knowledge. Protecting children meant extra eyes. Most people don't know this, but exile wasn't a punishment. It was an execution without the blood. A person forced away from the group didn't just lose friends. They lost food, protection, and the collective memory that kept everyone alive. Today, spending a weekend alone might feel peaceful, or just lonely. Back then, isolation could be measured in days remaining, not emotions. Honestly, that's a terrifying difference. The fear of exclusion wasn't irrational, it was perfectly calibrated to reality. And as shocking as that sounds, hunter-gatherers weren't the only societies that understood this. Entire civilizations eventually turned exclusion into law because they knew belonging mattered. In ancient Athens, citizens gathered once a year to vote on a remarkable punishment. Called ostracism, it allowed the assembly to banish one person for 10 years without a criminal trial. Enough votes, and your entire life disappeared overnight. This one discovery rewrote everything historians thought they knew about ancient punishment, because banishment wasn't the lesser penalty. It was the nuclear option. Many Athenians feared losing their community, reputation, and identity more than execution. Strange, isn't it? A living body could survive, but a life without belonging felt unbearable. The city understood what evolution had already taught. Separation carried extraordinary power. But if you think that's old, the real evidence goes back far deeper than any city ever built, reaching into humanity's distant prehistoric past, where even our closest ancient relatives revealed the same astonishing truth about compassion, survival, and belonging, long before civilization existed at all together still today. In the 1960s, archaeologist Ralph Solecki uncovered one of the most moving discoveries in Shanidar Cave in present-day Iraq. A Neanderthal skeleton showed remarkable injuries. One arm was missing, one eye was likely blind, and the body carried signs of severe disability. Yet the bones also revealed something extraordinary. This individual had lived for years after those injuries, meaning other Neanderthals must have shared food, offered protection, and kept them alive. That completely overturns the old stereotype of brutal, uncaring cave people. Even they understood that excluding someone weakened the entire group. Today you can mute, unfollow, or block someone with a tap. Back then, cutting someone off was almost certainly a death sentence, and everyone knew it. You've been carrying that ancient instinct ever since. And with that in mind, let's return to the dinner table where this story began, because everything you felt there now makes perfect evolutionary sense at last. Doesn't it after all these thousands of years? Think back to that dinner table. The joke still stings. The group chat still feels quieter than it should. But now you know what your brain was really reacting to. You're not overreacting. You're running an alarm system built to keep you alive. It just doesn't know the stakes changed. For almost 2 million years, belonging wasn't comfort. It was survival. That's why rejection feels so physical, even when nothing touches you. Honestly, there's something strangely comforting about that. It means your instincts aren't broken, they're ancient. The next time you're left out of a conversation, a party, or a message thread, pause for a second. Remember that your body is following rules written long before history. The world changed, your biology didn't. And maybe understanding that is the first step toward treating yourself with a little more patience and a lot more perspective every single day from now.